You're listening to Boombox Weekly.
What's up, family? Omar Cook here, back with another dope episode of Boombox Weekly, 24/7 live coaches platform. Tap in. We got a dope guest, and I'm here with my lovely host,
Gentel, Sharrie. It's going to be a really dope show. We have Stith in the building, and he just released his new EP, P.O.V. Now, when I say his vocals are A1, like, if I ever have a wedding, he's singing. He's singing at my wedding. I'm calling it now. Welcome to the show. It's Boombox Weekly.
Thank you for having me.
this man is major, yo. Look, he's got a record deal with RCA Records.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Doing major things. Just released his P.O.V. EP. He's got some other dope projects called Can We Talk, Good Company, FWM, and still FWM. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now. Right.
He's also written for some legendary people like Chris Brown, you know what I'm saying, on the song Lick. I know y'all know the song. It's a dope song. My man is
behind the music. Right.
Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. So you just dropped a new EP, man.
Yeah.
7-song tracks. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Something for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? It's dope,
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
always. Right.
Yeah,
right.
go ahead and talk about with that. How did you come up with the project name of POV?
So with my team, first off, shout out to everybody that was a part of the project, man. It's people don't realize how much actually goes into making a body of work. And I was really working on POV for about, I'll say, a year and a half before it came out. So shout out to everybody that was a part of it. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. But POV really came about having a meeting with my team one day, and we were just, we had these songs, and we were just really trying to figure out, like, okay, like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? What is this body of work? What does this mean to you? And we really just did some digging, and for me, I was telling them I'm a person that was raised around a lot of love. I've been in a lot of relationships, in and out of relationships, and my parents have a unique situation where when I was born, they were split, but as I got older, 12, 13, they got back together, and then we all moved in together, and I got to really watch them go from, that dynamic of being split to, being a family again. So my perspective, my POV, is a lot different than a lot of other people's, and that was really the underlying factor of this project. So I just wanted to tell my story about love and really paint the picture with relationships. It's not easy. You know what I'm saying? You go through ups and downs, and there's a lot of intricate parts to a relationship. So that's what POV is about.
And what's your favorite song on the EP?
Oh man, people been asking me that question all week. It's hard for me. So like, it changes.
Mm-hmm.
It changes every other. I wouldn't say every other day, but like every week it changes. But this week, I've really been bumping Whoa
Okay.
nonstop. But then next week I'm gonna be like, smoking in the park. The week after that, I'm gonna be like lonely. So
Yeah.
it's just
You think it's based on your mood of the week?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm moody, so absolutely.
What's your zodiac?
I'm a Leo.
Okay, Leo.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you said Cancer, I would have understood.
Understood.
More. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Leo. I'm a different kind of Leo, but
Yeah.
I'm the beginning, right at the beginning.
Yeah, definitely that Smoking in the Park song, just to open up the whole project, is dope. It's a dope
Yeah.
vibe, you know what I'm saying? Something you can ride to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me and
Cruising.
my boy was over here listening to it before we came up. I said,
Yeah.
it's a banger right here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
word.
It's dope.
Appreciate you.
It's dope.
Thank
So,
you, man.
I know the reception of it has to feel great, you know what I'm saying? People praising it and whatnot.
Yeah.
How do you feed off that energy? Like, what's next? You going on tour with it or what?
Absolutely. So actually the next show I'm gonna do since this project dropped is on October 16th with Victoria Monet in New York.
That's lit.
With the Jaguar
That's lit.
tour. So
Yeah.
that's about to be crazy. Shout out to
Yeah.
Victoria too. She's killing it.
Yes.
I've known her for a minute too. So I'm just glad to see everybody starting to win and
Yeah.
get that acknowledgement. But I'm doing a show with her on October 16th, and then top of the year. I can't say the artist's name yet, but I'm going out on tour with another artist, well-known artist, respectable artist, and that will be from I think February to May, or February to April. So yeah.
Wow, you're
Top of
doing
the
your
year.
thing. That's
Yup,
gonna be
yup.
lit.
Absolutely.
So you worked with a lot of artists, and you also worked with Chris Brown, like Omar was mentioning in the beginning. How was that writing Liquor?
Oh man, so that whole part of the journey is incredible. I'm gonna just backtrack a little bit. So just growing up in I came up on, Michael Jackson and Prince and Usher and all these greats. But for me and my generation, I feel like Chris Brown was that guy that connected, you know what I'm saying, to me. And it was like when I seen him, I seen myself. I was like, wow, that's what I want to do. He made it cool. So, I remember being in high school and telling everybody, like, I'm going to work with Chris Brown one day. And they were like, yeah, whatever, bro. Like, whatever, bro. Yeah, okay.
They didn't believe it.
They didn't believe it, bro. They didn't see the vision. And then shout out Jazz Prince, because that's how I actually got to meet Chris. He took me, and I was in a group at the time, me and the group to the studio. And Chris was in the studio working on something. And, he was just like very open and warm from the jump. He was just like, hey, I'm working on this. If you got any ideas, just let me know what it is. Go ahead and say it. And I was like, shit, all right. This is my moment. So it started with that. And then I got to play him a ton of songs that I was working on at the time. And then the very next day, he had hit Jazz and was like, yo, I need a pack. Like, send me the whole pack. Send me the folder. Send me the pack. So Liquor was in there. Make Love was in there. There was a bunch of songs. Some that came out on a mixtape, Beat It Up, Come Home Tonight. So that all was in there. And so fast forward, he finally recorded Liquor. We was at Record Plant. And it was just a surreal moment, because I'm just like, dag, bro, I'm here. This is Chris Brown, bro. Like, I remember telling people they didn't believe me,
it's like a full circle moment.
Right. So that was just incredible, and just his work ethic, it was just like, oh, this man is a legend already, you know what I'm saying? But he's working like he's still trying to pay the rent. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, for me, it was like, okay, it never stops. The grind never stops. So that was an incredible moment.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
Yeah. It's got to be amazing to really see your dreams manifest in the way that it did.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
for you to say, like, oh, I'm really going to work with Chris Brown one
day.
Right.
To really do it.
Right.
I mean, that's crazy.
The tongue is powerful.
I mean, I say,
like, you speak it, you can really manifest it, and it can happen.
And also, I'm a strong believer in God, so it's that alignment. You know what I'm saying? The time was right. That preparedness met the opportunity, and he already had it written. So that's how it happened. So yeah.
Well, nice.
You mentioned some dope people like Michael Jackson, of course, and obviously you wrote for Chris Brown.
Right.
We could say he's one of the most talented people in the world, right?
Absolutely.
But you also have Prince here on your arm.
Right. Come on now.
You know
Yep.
So
man,
what does that really mean to you? Obviously you get that tatted on you. That's got to mean something to you.
So I'm gonna break it down. This is the musical arm. I got Michael here. I got Prince here. I'm gonna have many more. I'm starting to think like I'm gonna just do album covers of my favorite albums. But man, so at 8 years old, it was like my mom introduced me to Michael Jackson, and my dad introduced me to Prince. So the first time I ever saw Prince, it was he put out a tour movie called Sign of the Times. That was an album, but he made it into a tour movie. Right. And that was the first time that I seen it as a kid. My dad was watching the DVD, and I was just like, yo, what's going on, man? This dude got on the drums, he got on the guitar, he's on the keyboard, on the organ, he's dancing, And that was another thing to me that I was like, wow, like I could see myself doing that. I'm a drummer. I started playing drums when I was small, and grew up in church playing keys and singing and guitar and all that stuff. So when I seen him, like Chris, I seen myself. I was like, yo, I don't know what he's talking about. I know in some parts my parents was like, close your ears, close your eyes. but I knew that feeling that I was getting from the music, I was like, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he played a big part in who I am as an artist. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a dope influence to have. You know
right.
what I'm saying? I mean, it really don't get no better than Prince, Michael.
Right. That's the greatest legends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that means you got a lot of pedigree to live up to.
Right. Come on now. Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
But I mean, you're off to a great start. You've been in the game for a little minute. And some dope projects. I mean, I heard you years ago in 2017.
Word.
Your first project. So,
yeah. Can we talk?
Can we talk?
Yup. I was singing crazy.
Yeah.
I was trying to do everything.
Was that one of your first records? Like.
Yeah, that was actually my first real project that I put out. And yeah, like I said, I was trying to sing everything. I was trying to hit every note and do everything. But yeah.
And I actually saw you at Soho House I want to say it was like a year or
Probably
so ago.
last year, right? Yeah. It
And
was
when you
like
sung
acoustic.
Devotion, I was like, woo!
Let's go.
Yeah, that was lit. That was lit. I was like, oh, I'm a fan.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
But we're going to take a quick little break and give a shout out to our proud sponsors, 24/7 Live Culture.
You drop project after project after project. You know, this new EP that you just dropped is hot. But fans want to know, when you dropping the album, man? What's the first album?
So listen, you know, the grind never stops, y'all. So I'm always working. I mean, my fans will tell you that get on my lives and my TikToks and streams and stuff that I'm always teasing music on there, you know. But there's always a new song and something like, oh, I haven't heard this one yet, or I haven't. So I'm always working on music. So I would say expect the album next year. But let's just say P.O.V is not over yet. I know it's a short project. I know it's an EP, but it's not over yet.
Yeah.
So expect more.
Are you already working on the album?
Oh, I'm already working on the album though. Yeah.
Yeah. What can they look forward to? Like, you know, P.O.V. I feel like, you know, that fans is probably thinking like, man, that's a tease, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, put way more tracks on the album.
Absolutely, but I feel like you know, with P.O.V, it was really to introduce y'all to this new version of Tone. You know, like you said, I've been on the scene for a minute now. And if you look back at all my projects, you can see that there was growth in every era of Tone. But this one was different. This one is like you could kind of not kiss the old Tone goodbye, but it's time to, you know, elevate. It's time to evolve, and that's what P.O.V is for me. It's that first step on the stairs. It's like, okay, he's getting closer to something different that we haven't seen before. So that's what it is. So by the time the album hit, it's gonna be different.
And what's the process of making your album?
You know, for me, it's always about living life. I like pulling from real life situations. I think, you know, we all do it probably as songwriters and artists, but sometimes you can make music that's like a hypothetical situation. You might not have lived it, or, you know, whatever, but I like to really take time and evaluate what's going on, like, you know, whether it's in my friends' lives, families' lives, and just people around me. It could be a conversation, you know, that I hear just being out one day and being like, yo, that's actually mad crazy. Let me tune into what they talking about. They got some tea going on over there. Let me see. But I really like to pull from, you know, real life scenarios. So for this album, it's all about, you know, living more and through this P.O.V era now, you know, doing these shows and what happens and just really taking all that in and then delivering it on the new album.
Okay, well, we're excited for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, like you said, you know, this is a new version of you.
Right.
You know, life is all about growth. So I know at a certain point in your life, there was a point where you weren't this big artist, you know, that you are today. But you had to see the vision first, you know what I'm saying, before everybody else saw it.
Yeah.
You know, what was the moment that said, hey, I'm really doing this. This is for real for me?
Oh man, there was a few of them. I'll say it happened multiple times. So like, I would say the first time that I was like, you know, I'm really gonna go for it, was after I graduated high school. And I remember one day in high school, they was passing out the little sheet that you could sign up and do the SATs for on Saturday, and my teacher handed it to me, and I was like, nah. I was like, I'm good. She was like, no, you got it. And I was like, nah, trust me, I'm good. So I remember going home and my parents finding out, like, you're not gonna take the SATs? Like what's up? And I was like, you know, I'm not gonna go to college, y'all. Like I you know, I'm doing this music thing and that's just it. You know, I believe this is my calling. And my parents have always, my whole life, supported my musical journey. So it was, I mean, obviously it wasn't just oh yeah, okay. It was a little debate, you know, it was a little argument, but they did, you know, believe, and they was like, you know what, all right, you know, if you really feel that way, then, you know, you got our you know, our blessing, our, you know, love. So After that, the following year, I ended up getting signed with my group, and we moved to California, and that started off the meeting Chris Brown and the different things like that. But the second moment, I would say is when I met Chris.
Yeah.
At the time, I was more just focused on writing and producing. Like after the group had split, we did that for a while. We performed and stuff. So it was just like, you know what? I want to take another approach. I kind of don't want to be in the forefront.
Right.
I just want to make the songs and whatever. And then I met Chris, and he was just like, he told me, he was like, yo, you were in my top 5 vocalists, all-time vocalists. And I was just like,
That's like major to hear that from
Absolutely.
like Chris Brown.
Right. I was like, hold up.
Right.
Nah, but and then he was just really, telling me like, look, man, you could play, you could dance, you could sing like this. You need to be doing this.
Yeah.
Like this is made for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that was that extra push that I needed at the time. Cause after that, I was like, all right, cool. I'm in full artist mode. I started dropping covers. I started, really going crazy. And then ended up getting signed to RCA. But that was the second like big push in my journey. So
Nice. So when did you know you could actually like sing, like hit those notes, like?
Not gonna lie to you. If I was a singer, yo, I'd probably be
singing
all the
everywhere,
time.
right? Singing
Class,
dances,
everything.
right?
They had to hear me.
right.
I'm talking myself.
You don't have to hear me. Man, I would say, all right, there was 2 moments. There was when I was 7, my mom actually caught me singing to one of Tyler Perry's plays. So I was playing on the TV. She was in the kitchen cooking, I think, and I was just singing. I was singing my heart out. And she was like, wait. Do that again. And usually, like, when I was a kid, I was shy. I was like, oh, no, I ain't trying to sing. I'll play the drums, but I'm not trying to really sing. She's like, do it again. So I was like, all right, cool. So she had a little cassette tape. She was recording me. And, I just went for it. And I think that was the moment that she realized, because she sings also.
Yeah.
That was the moment she realized that, she's like, oh, no. Like, he's not just, humming or, like, barely hitting the notes. He's really going for it, like the runs and all. And then I would say when I probably like 14, 15, that's when I really discovered like my falsetto and like the range and what I could do and like my abilities. So that's when I really started like tapping into like, okay, I could sing for real. I kind of got it. So that's probably like 14, 15. That was when I really like dove into it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a dope talent, man. When you really figure out what you're good at, and then you know that you're good at it, it's like you have a superpower.
Right.
You start feeling like you're damn near invincible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's some people that's out there that abuse it, and some people that use it the right way. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Facts.
You're doing a great job what you do.
Yeah, appreciate
you know what I mean?
it,
What's the next 5 years look like for you? Where do you want to be?
Man, for me, it's that legendary status, bro. It's that crown. I want that top spot. But I also want to be looked at and remembered as like somebody who did it different.
For sure.
I respect everybody that's legends in the game. Chris, Usher, Mike, Prince, everybody, right? But each one of them did it different.
Sure.
And so for me, that's really important. And I think earlier in my career, that wasn't the focus. It was just more so like, I'm going to showcase my talent and put out music.
Yeah.
But now I'm tapped into like, okay, now how can I do it different?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Something we haven't seen before. So the next 5 years for me is all about getting that credit that he did it different. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you right now, no one's hitting those falsetto notes like you in songs. Like it's just different. Like you listen to a lot of the men in R&B, they're not hitting the notes you're hitting.
Gotcha.
So you're already
setting yourself aside.
Yes.
Right.
I noticed on the EP that you didn't use a lot of features on there. You know what I'm saying? It was really just you.
Yeah.
Is that like a personal choice, or is there somebody that you really want to collab with for the future?
I'm all about things happening at the right time, and being organic. And there were a few people that we were, going to get on the project, but it just didn't happen in the way that it should have happened. And I think the fact that there is no features on there makes a big statement too. You
Yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
like, you know what? Only I could tell this story the way it needs to be told. You know, now we can circle back around for remixes and things like that, but only I could tell my story. So I think it's, you know, I'm glad there's no features on this initial release, because now the listener can really go in and be like, you know, what's Tone Stith about if they haven't heard of me, and from POV it'll be a whole journey of like, oh okay, you know, I'm getting to know him. So but I mean, there's so many artists that I love and would love to work with and collaborate on, but I think for this specific project it just didn't happen like that.
Yeah, sometimes you got to keep the projects personal, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Especially,
right.
like, you know, it is called POV, so, you know, it's point of view.
Point of view, right,
I mean, it makes
exactly.
best sense for you to tell your own story.
Exactly,
you
right.
know? Make sure you guys tap into that project. It's a dope project for sure. What kind of inspiration or motivation can you offer to other artists that were once in the shoes or are in the shoes right now of, hey, I really want to do this, but I don't have the resources, or I don't know which path to go, you know? What can you say that can get them over the hill?
I just put up a tweet today saying, you know, you gotta bet on you every time, and, you know, really just put all that energy and effort into learning yourself and being that best version of you. So my advice would be, you know, don't be discouraged. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody says no, I realize in my career now that it's just opinions. You know what I'm saying? No matter who's who, no matter what accolades or whatever, it's all opinions, and we don't know what can happen. You know, so I feel like for that artist out there that's pursuing music and want to make a career out of it, just go for it and make sure you're in tune with yourself and what you want out of this and what you want your message to be to the world, because I think that's very important too. That's the driving force. So yeah, just go for it and don't let, you know, a no discourage you. Just keep going.
Yeah, that's major in this industry, is overcoming the no's. You know what I'm saying? In any, you know, entertainment industry, whether it's being an actor or whether it's being a musician, you know, I'm sure you've probably pitched 1,000 songs, you know, and heard.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
you know,
right.
Same thing with, you know, the auditions. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know,
Yep.
how many auditions do you have to go through to really book a role?
I mean,
Low-key
listen,
100.
listen. I've definitely did some TV auditions myself too,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, oh, I didn't get that call back. All right, bet.
Right. And
I'm
you be
still-
feeling yourself too. You
right.
like,
I was like,
I know I'm
killed
gonna get that.
Yeah, I was like, man, I know I killed that.
Facts.
Nope.
Was there a no that pushed you to your like best limit?
That's a good question. You know what? I would say there was a few things that happened in my journey that really like made me just like, all right, you know, I'm really going. I would say one, me and the group at the time, we went on Apollo, and we made it. We got past the audition, and we made it onto the actual show. But at the actual show, we actually got booed off.
Oh man, not the
And
Sandman.
At the Sandman, and it was crazy was we was, you know, backstage before they called us up. We was down there chopping it up with him, singing all types of songs. He was like, y'all are so dope, man. Like, I can't wait to work with y'all. I need y'all contact after the show.
Yo.
We went on there, got booed off. You know, he sweeping. You know what I'm saying? And then the crazy thing is, after we got booed off, we were trying to tell the people, like, yo, you know, the Sandman said he want our contact, so, you know, we want to stay here and give it to him. It was like, nah, y'all got to wait out back in the alleyway.
Oh, man.
So that was a big moment in my career. But I remember, you know, handling it well.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, you know, whatever, we got booed off.
Right.
That don't mean nothing, you know, it happened. That's not the last you're going to see. And then there was another moment where this one's messed up, but me and my group got scammed. We were supposed to open up for Alicia Keys at the Prudential Center, right? And so the dude, you know, he was like, you know, there's gonna be a party bus to pick you and your family up at this location. It's gonna take y'all down there, whatever, take care of y'all. So I remember the day came, you know, we've been rehearsing for weeks, you know, getting our outfits together, spending money, like, oh yeah, it's about to be lit. And so it was like, you know, we had a bunch of family come and you know, wait for the party bus. Like, we all gonna go up there together. So yeah, we were waiting in the parking lot, and like 30 minutes go by. We like, okay, driver behind time or something. An hour go by. We like, all right, I don't know if he not gonna make it. All right, cool. Let's just all carpool and just drive up. So we drive up. I'm from Marlton, New Jersey, so that's near Cherry Hill, near Philly. So we're driving from South Jersey all the way to North Jersey, Newark. And so we get there, and we go around to the artist entrance, and we're talking to the security guard, like, yeah, you know, our name should be on there. We give him the group name. He's like, all right, it's not on this list, but I'm going to go and let me go to the back. You know, we got 2 lists, so let me go in the back. Let me check this other list. Y'all probably on the other list. So at this point, you know, he went to the back, so we unpacking the car. You know, we getting our outfits out, our it's crazy, our garment bags and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So then he comes back and he's like, man, like, y'all ain't on this list, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to, like, I feel horrible. Like, and this is the security guard, I feel horrible, but y'all not on this list. So, you know, we calling the dude that he was like, yo, you know, booked us this slot or whatever. No answer, nothing, right? And we paid him too, so like nothing. So long story short, we was scammed, and that hurt. You know what I'm saying? That one hurt because it was like, oh my God, bro, we done got ready, we done, you know, told everybody to come see us. Right. But then recently this year, I opened for Jasmine Sullivan at the Prudential Center. So it came back around full circle, and that's why I'm like, man, these no's was like, it was pushing me because I knew I was going to be back one day.
And sometimes you got to get the no's. It be hurting, but it's like, I see why I got the no, because you probably wouldn't have pushed yourself.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah,
no, that's a fact. That's a fact. So, I mean, you're going to get them no's for sure, but you just got to keep going forward, and eventually people that don't see the vision, once it blow up, they'll see the vision, and they'll be yeses.
Absolutely. You know, that's overcoming adversity. I mean, that's major adversity too. Mm-hmm. You know, to actually be prepared to deliver a show and get the rejection that you're not even on the list.
Not even on the bill, bro.
You know, and also performing at the Apollo was a major dream for any music artist. You know what I'm saying? You know, we all watched the Apollo growing up.
Yeah.
You know, and to have that moment where you're talking to the Sandman, like, yo, y'all dope, I want to work with y'all, and then get booed off, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I got a memory that's like just branded in my mind of this is like 3 people in the front row, and they literally was looking at me and the homies on stage and like just like doing this, and it's like branded in my. I can see them till this day, and I'm like, man, y'all don't even know, but it was crazy though.
Because you about to.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yup.
You winning now.
Right.
We back. Yeah, we back.
We
back.
Yeah.
Right.
Victoria Monet
Right.
Soon.
Yup. We here.
They can't say nothing now.
No, absolutely. Right. No. Right.
That's gotta feel
get them
good.
Tickets. I'm gonna be like.
Right.
Nah.
You know, 2023 is the year of silencing the haters.
Come on,
you know
exactly. I love
really
that.
Really popping out, flexing your muscles. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's really not about flexing words, because we ain't gotta do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's the action.
It's
your actions. Come on. I was just saying this, so y'all right there. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the actions, man. You know. Well, shout out to your project P.O.V, man, and make sure y'all go tap in with that. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? Black excellence.
Come on now.
You know what I mean?
Speak about it. Yeah.
Where can we find you? And if there's anybody you want to shout out, make sure you shout them out.
Yeah. So all my socials are TONESTITH, Tone Stith, and yeah, man. Shout out my team, bro. Like shout out my fans, and I don't even really want to call them fans because they my family to me. But shout out my family and my team, because every day, you know, whether it's from a consumer point of view, they're streaming my music, they're playing my music and enjoying it and making videos, and that's what I do it for. Yeah. And then my team is behind the scenes just working crazy overtime, 24/7, to just make all this possible and you know, to make sure there's tours that I'm on, to make sure there's more projects coming out. And so shout out to all of y'all that's, you know, really the battery for me, and the reason that I wake up every day and just choose to go harder and to beat the older version of myself. So thank you.
Like you said, teamwork, man. You know, shout out to the team. It's not just about him. You know, great leaders and great people, they always got a great team behind them.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, at 24/7, we got a dope team. You know, shout out to the team as well.
Come on.
24/7,
Come on,
going
team.
crazy out here. You feel me? But I know that's dope. That's big ups. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
You know what I'm saying? Tone Stith in the building. I'm Omar Cook. You already know what time it is.
I'm Gentel Sharrie.
That's Boombox Weekly.
You're listening to Boombox Weekly.